It's 2024 and I've decided to pick up Assassin's Creed Valhalla, mostly because it just happened to show up on Game Pass. I haven't played many entries in this series, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like. And it's not off to the best start. There's a 15-minute opening where all I'm able to do is press W to walk forward. While the story itself is interesting enough, I've never been a fan of games which take more than 5 minutes to let you start playing them. The story itself is as follows. When the player character is a kid, their clan gets attacked and their parents die.
Accept your fate and die a coward here before your people, and I will spare the rest.
Fight, my love! Do not listen!
If I give my life, will you spare my clan? You have my word.
No. No, Aaron. No, Aaron! Pick up your axe!
Kill them all!
You do escape from this fight along with a fair few others, but you end up getting nibbled on by a wolf on the way. This causes the one Animus section to occur. One thing I remember not being a big fan of in the original Assassin's Creed game were the future sections, where you just wandered about and got told a bunch of sci-fi nonsense. So I'm happy to report that the only acknowledgement of it in the couple of hours I played is the pick your gender bit, and as a reward for showing restraint, I let the Animus choose. Flash forward 17 years later, and things don't look much better. We've been captured by the same person who attacked us in the earlier section, but like all evil villains, he foolishly lets me live when I'm at his mercy. This turns out particularly poor for the crew he leaves behind, as I'm able to beat them up, despite the fact I'm in shackles and they all have axes. We pick up one of their axes and finally get to actually play the game. Seems the whole rest of our crew were also captured, but taken elsewhere, so it's my job to find and save them. On the way, I do a fair bit of foraging, and it's clear this is going to be one of those games where you spend half your time looking for resources to upgrade your equipment with. When I finally encounter some enemies, I decide to take the stealthy approach. I may not be any good at stealth games, but I figure I should at least give it a chance. Seems the rest of my crew have no idea what sort of franchise they're in, as the first guy I meet is fighting as loudly as possible. At least he's kind enough to give me the loot from the guy he killed, as if I wasn't going to loot the body the second his back was turned anyway. I don't think I've ever talked about it, but it's kind of weird how normalised looting the dead is in video games. In real life, that would be seen as incredibly disrespectful and possibly emotionally scarring. But in video games, it's just like, ooh, shiny things, and we ignore the corpse stench that clings to it. As stealth worked well for me last time, I give it another try. I'm able to slip into the longhouse unseen, but a cutscene robs me of any chance of a stealth attack.
You! Lay that axe aside or die by mine!
You should be on a slave ship to Ireland, Wolf-Kissed. But if you wish to be my first sacrifice, Odin will be more than happy to receive you.
Instead, I have to deal with my first boss fight. I master dodging pretty much instantly, and it looks like things are going my way. That is, until the game decides it wants me to practice the block and parry mechanics, and I promptly get my butt kicked. On the second attempt, I decide to focus more on doing what I want rather than trying what the game tells me, and things go much better. I then get to pick up my father's axe, which for some reason is still being carried by the bad guys, and I promptly trip out. My crew are getting a little frustrated by the fact that I'm spacing rather than freeing them, so snap me out of it and I set them loose. I equip my new items and proceed to fight my way out of the camp. You'd think that having a Viking crew at my side would help things out, but it soon becomes clear how we were captured, as they all just stand around while the enemy gang up on me. I hold my own, and eventually the enemy get distracted enough by the other friendlies that I can take them down. Deciding I don't want to be stuck in another fight like that, I try sneaking through the camp in order to get some loot, while only having to fight enemies one-on-one. There is one more large-scale fight I have to undertake in order to reach my ship, but it's mostly just chopping up archers at close range, so all goes smoothly. Finally free and ready to head home, we sail for about 10 seconds before the bloodlust takes over and we attack literally the first place we see. This is a raid, which gives the opportunity to fight alongside your crew in order to get some extra loot. In this case, a fancy two-handed axe, which I will not end up using. The raid may have been more trouble than it was worth, as I instantly managed to ground my ship and struggled to get free. Despite my piss-poor sailing skills, I make it to base without any further problems.
What's wrong with
Pull up
you?
here!
I said without any further problems.
Let's put in here!
Much better. Having made my way home means I get to do my first level up. Weirdly, before I can spend any skill points, it needs to highlight every single skill along with a musical accompaniment. It does that 3 times. After that audible assault, I decide I need something to calm myself down, so I play a game of dice. This is Orlog, a dice game which I really enjoyed trying out. You roll the dice 3 times, keeping the ones you want each time. Axes and arrows deal damage, helmets and shields defend you from the other 2, and the hand steals fancy power tokens from your opponent. Any dice you have with a gold outline also give you a power token. These tokens let you perform powerful abilities, and it's actually how I won the game. I just stockpiled my power and was able to knock down my opponent's health. Not sure if there's any gameplay reward for playing this dice game, but you can bet I'm going to play it with every willing person I find. Next stop is the blacksmith, to do the first of no doubt many weapon upgrades. Like any good dealer, the first hit is free, but you can bet I'll be paying through the teeth for any future upgrades. The king still isn't free, so instead I head to the local witch and get high, because Ubisoft games. It's a pretty mild trip overall. It does get somewhat exciting with the arrival of the giant doggo, but we come back to reality before we can fuss it. To clear my head, I go on a little walk, looking to climb on top of a mountain spire. On my walk, I come across a sleeping guard and wake them up, just trying to be a good citizen and all. This good deed backfires instantly, as while walking off, this happens.
Ivan, wake up! You're headed for the end!
I was looking away, so I'm not certain if he fell or not. I can't see him, but rather than checking, I figure I'll just go with plausible deniability and keep on climbing. I make it to the high point and synchronise, giving me a fast travel point if I ever want to return to this empty mountain. The king is finally ready to talk, but while arguing with him over how much is the correct level of violence, lots or lots and lots, his son returns home from a distant voyage. On top of whatever riches he's plundered, he's also found a couple of assassins. It's taken an hour and a half, but there's finally assassins in this Assassin's Creed game. The assassins join for our evening party, and I'm given the present of a hidden blade. Clearly I'm the smartest person to ever be given one of these, as I put it on the outside of my arm rather than the inside, so that I don't have to cut off a finger. I can now finally perform stealth kills, and I get the chance to try them out later that same night, as I spot a spy sneaking around and slash at him with the hidden blade. Pro tip for anyone deciding to spy on a settlement, maybe don't clearly wear enemy colours while doing so. Kinda gives you away. After a little searching, I'm able to find the other spies and stealthily take them down. The spies making it so close to our lands finally ends the level of violence debate, with lots and lots of violence winning. The king's son and the assassins join us as we head to the nearby enemy settlement and launch our attack. With fire and ferocity, we easily overwhelm the enemy on the beaches. Pushing further up, I'm able to pick off individual enemies using my bow and axe. The outpost is burned down, and we claim victory. Then there's something where a King Harold arrives to offer us aid, but that's something for another time. Despite the slow start, I actually really ended up enjoying this game. Not sure if it's one I play to completion, but it is one I want to play again, so I've put it as an option in my What Game Should I Livestream poll, which I'll leave a link to in the comments for if you'd like to see more of this. Do make sure to subscribe for more of these videos, and hit the like button if you enjoyed. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.